This is the time of year when Americans begin to think about a very important day, Election Day. Did you know that a long time ago, each individual state decided when their own election day would be? Can you imagine if every state decided when Halloween would be? It would be so confusing. So in 1854, Congress decided that everyone should vote on the same day. Back then, most eligible voters were farmers, and they wanted Election Day in the fall. Why would farmers want Election Day to be in the autumn? You're right. Farmers don't have a lot of free time. They have to plant in the spring, tend their crops all summer, and then harvest them in the fall. So they needed Election Day to be after the harvest. And why wouldn't people want to vote in the winter? Right again. It was too cold for people who had to walk or ride their horse or take their buggy to travel to town. It seemed like early November was the best time of the year for this special day. It was after the harvest, but before the cold of winter. Tuesday seemed like a good day of the week to go into town, and so it was decided. Election Day would be the first Tuesday in November. This year, in 2024, that Tuesday will be November 5th. Everyone knows that we are going to elect a president this year because everyone is talking about it everywhere. In school, on TV, radio, social media. But what else will be on the ballot this November? Well, it's complicated. Our founders set up our government with 3 different parts. These are called branches. Can you name all 3? You remembered. The executive, the legislative, and the judicial branches, and each one has special responsibilities. And what makes it really complicated is that there are different levels of government, federal, state, and local, and they each have those same 3 branches. That means there are a lot of officials to elect. The president is the executive of our federal or national government. But voters all across the United States will be electing their local officials as well. What is local government? Yes, it is smaller areas of the country, like states and counties and towns and cities, places nearer to where you live. Local officials make decisions about things that affect your everyday life, like how much people will pay in property taxes or what roads or bridges will be repaired. What else might they decide? Yes, they might choose to build more soccer or baseball fields in your local park. So it's very important that voters go to the polls, not just to elect a president, but because the local elections are very important to you, your family, and your neighbors. But wait, there is even more on the ballot this year. You've all heard about the United States Constitution. But what is that really? It's all the great ideas that our country's founders came up with when they started our brand new country. Ideas about people electing their own leaders to make our rules. Do you think that all the rules made for you when you were 6 should be the same ones you have when you're older? I hope not. Well, our founders thought of that too. They knew attitudes and ideas would change over time, and so they made it possible for citizens to change or amend the Constitution. Wow, those folks were really smart. And who do you think approves constitutional changes or amendments? Absolutely. Voters decide that on Election Day. Just as our country or federal government has its own constitution, so does every single state. And yes, state constitutions can be changed too, on Election Day by voters. This year, New York State voters will have a chance to vote on an amendment to our New York State Constitution. This year, voters will have a chance to vote on New York State's Equal Rights Amendment, called Proposition 1. Times have changed, and our Constitution needs to change too. Proposition 1 will protect people from discrimination. What's that? Well, it's treating someone differently because of who they are, like not letting someone play on your team because they are left-handed. Whoa, I'm left-handed. I wouldn't like that. It wouldn't be fair. One of the most important responsibilities in our country is to know and understand all you can about who and what you will be voting for. This is where you come in. I would like to have you, along with all the adults in your life, find out all there is to know about the 2024 elections and the amendment that will be on the ballot this November 5th. There are lots of great resources you can use. The League of Women Voters and the New York State Board of Elections have really helpful websites. You can be a big help to adults by exploring these websites with them and helping them learn all about voting in 2024. Working together, you can find the answers to almost any questions they might have. You can help them find out if they're registered to vote and help them register if they aren't. You can help them even find their polling place and learn more about the proposition. You can even help them vote early or vote by mail if they want to. There is a lot of important information on these websites. Thank you for all your help, and congratulations! You are on your way to being an educated and informed voter. And it will be your turn soon to go to the polls to cast your votes. We will all be counting on you.